Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with a review of the brand new 2020 5 Series QLED TCL 65-inch TV. It is the 65S535 model. You can pick it up for MSRP about $629, which I think is pretty solid, and we're going to discuss it in this video. I think that TCL's done a good job with this TV. I've been testing it out for the last 2 weeks now, and I gotta say, I really enjoy it. 65-inch, QLED, HDR10, it's got everything that you could ask for, even Dolby Vision whenever it has things that support that. So if you look at TVs in this price range, I think that you're going to be really happy and surprised with what this one has to offer, and we're going to dive in and talk about that. But before we get there, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now, let's get into the review. So this probably doesn't need a lot of explaining, but the box is pretty darn big. But this is what it looks like. Big QLED label on the front of it, TCL Premier Picture, and of course it's a Roku TV, which is nice. It has the Roku built in for all your streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all those good things. And the remote control is very similar to the other Roku TVs as well. So if you pick one up, it pretty much feels like any other Roku TV remote. So for a quick rundown on some of the stuff on the TV, on the back, you've got where the power plug plugs in on the back right side if you're looking at the back of the TV. And you also have the screws on the back, so it's very easy if you want to attach a mount to the back of this and put it on your wall. No issues there, standardized sizing. But here's a zoomed out look just so you can see. And you can pick up a mount for them over at Best Buy or wherever, so you can put it on the wall. It uses a Phillips head screwdriver in the event that you're curious about what you're going to need to put it up on the wall. As far as ports go, Ethernet, we've got 4 HDMIs, one that has ARC support for the output on the audio. You've got the regular connector for the RF antenna, and then $30 a year is what the estimated cost is to power this up, which I think is pretty reasonable. To put the legs on it, very easy. You have 2 screws that go for each leg. That's it. And then it has 2 different positions on that, which I'll show you here in a second. You can make the base wider or shorter. We'll talk more about that. But it does make it easier if you want to put the legs more narrow. In the event that you don't have a super wide TV stand, you can put them wider if you do have the room for it. And I think that's a really nice feature. Setting up the TV is super simple. It is probably the easiest TV I've ever set up in my life. All you have to do is select whatever your Wi-Fi network is, connect to it by putting in your password, and then when you first set it up, there should be a software update available. Go ahead and let that download and install, and then after you get done with the software update, you can move over to getting things set up. It'll give you a little login here, so you go to the URL for Roku, you'll put in the code that I have blacked out there so you can connect your TV, and then you can select which apps you want installed as you're setting it up here. So if you've got Sling, if you've got Hulu, if you've got Starz, Showtime, whatever, you set it up straight from your phone and it makes life so much simpler. So first things first, I do want to say that TCL was kind enough to send this out to me as a review unit for me to test out. I am not being paid for this. This is not a sponsored video. They're not getting to see this before you are. Just sent out solely for my objective opinion on the TV. Moving forward, it's a 65-inch model. It's a QLED TV, quantum dot technology built in with the LED, really solid, and it gives you a really nice picture experience. HDR10, Dolby Vision, it supports that as well, and it has all the streaming services and everything built in, plus it's built on the Roku TV platform, so you can use that. And if you've already got a Roku TV, it's going to be really familiar for you because the remote control is basically identical. The interface is the same. I've got a Sharp TV that's got it. I've got this TV that's got it. It's so nice having that to be able to bounce back and forth between, and it's exactly the same experience. So that's one thing I like about this TV. It's simple, very, very easy to use. Some more tech specs on it. It's got a 60 hertz panel. It's got 4 HDMI ports. It doesn't have HDMI 2.1. It works with Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa, and you can use your AirPlay, which is nice. HDR, HDR10, it's got hybrid log gamma HLG along with Dolby Vision support. It's not a 120 hertz panel, it's not a 240 hertz, it's a 60 hertz panel. So if you're looking to get 120 hertz for your gameplay, you're not going to find that here, but it does have that motion rate, which has smoother playback whenever you want to play games and you have things like watching sports, things with a lot of motion going on. So the control interface and the menu is very, very easy to navigate through, and that's because it has the Roku TV setup. It's really nice because if you have other TVs that are Roku TVs, the controller is going to be the same, especially if you get it from TCL. Works out really nice. The volume button's on the side, the mute switch. One thing I like about the mute switch on here, if you mute it and then turn the TV off and then turn it back on, it will still be muted. And it kind of threw me off at first because I tried to fire something up and I'm like, honey, why isn't my Xbox sound coming on? You still have to go through and you hit the mute switch again that way. It does have a light down here on the bottom underneath the TCL logo. It does stay on at night. So if you're bothered by this in your bedroom, you may have to put something in front of it. I usually put like a t-shirt or something there because it can be kind of bright, especially if you're easily distracted by lights when you're trying to go to sleep. That's one of the only complaints that I have about this TV. Otherwise, it's very, very almost edge to edge. I mean, there's got a small black border around the edge, but otherwise, I think that it works out really well. It looks nice. Like I talked about in the beginning, I love that there's two different positions for the legs underneath the TV. This has been a significant problem for me with other TVs, especially larger ones. Like I have a 55-inch, I have another 60-inch, and like I can't put larger ones on my TV stand because the base on the legs is so wide. And of course they have to be because the older TVs are like 60, 70, 80 pounds. Because this one's lighter, you can put the legs in the two different spots and it doesn't really mess with it. I don't have any problems with it, and I have it set up on my TV stand in my bedroom. Yes, it's very popular to put them on walls nowadays, but there may not always be a place where you can put something on your wall, and that might be another important thing that you need to pay attention to when you're looking at buying a new TV, especially a large one, because once you get over the 60-inch hurdle, it's really, really hard to find TV stands to put them on because the legs are so far out. So just keep that in mind. This one is really flexible for that. It's very easy to go in and turn things on in here. It does have a 60 Hertz refresh rate screen. A lot of people have asked me about this. Can you play Call of Duty? Can you play the Xbox One X or the Xbox Series X or the Series S or the PlayStation 5? Will this do 120 frames per second? On 4K, no it won't. You're not going to be able to do that because it doesn't have HDMI 2.1 spots on it. You got to pay a lot of money to get those TVs. Typically they have 120 Hertz refresh rate too. You can't just plug in your regular Xbox Series X or your PS5 into a 120 Hertz TV and expect it to play at that or necessarily the 120 Hertz frames per second. That's not unique to this TV, but just letting you know, you have to have HDMI 2.1 to do that. This one does not have that, and it's only a 60 Hertz panel. So if you want to play 120 frames per second, you can, but it's going to be on 1080p, not going to be on 4K. It's great for gaming. It does have game mode on here, and I'll go back to my input because I was playing before I started this video. So it's very nice whenever you're playing Call of Duty on here because it has game mode on the TV. So if you ever played on a TV and your console you're playing and it feels like there's lag in between the controller and what you're telling it to do, that's because they don't have game mode or they don't have game mode enabled, and it reduces that lag, that latency, which is what throws you off. It's really, really annoying. This one automatically turns it on. I really like that. What you do have to mess with a lot though is going into the display settings. So in the display settings, you'll have to go in here and adjust the brightness. The HDR and the picture mode like to change themselves a lot. If you're not doing something, you turn your TV off, you turn it back on, it'll default back to normal or dark. I turn mine up bright because it's kind of dark in my room and I just like the screen being brighter. So if you ever notice that your picture is not the same as it was last time you turned it on, just hit the little star or the asterisk button, go in and then change it back. But very easy to change the display settings on the fly. And that's one of the other reasons I like this. And it doesn't turn the screen off. So you can press it, it just pulls it up over on the side. Let me get over here so you can see better. So it doesn't mess with that. You can do TV brightness, you can adjust the picture size, you can change the picture mode, you can do sound mode. You've got the HDMI ARC, so you can do the sound out that way. You also have digital output for the optical, so that's nice as well. Picture settings, you can change these all day long. Normal mode for your HDR. HDR is your high dynamic range. That's what adjusts the contrast ratio. So you get that brightness, you get that better HDR, especially with a lot of the new games. It's an HDR10 compliant panel, which means that if you want to play on the enhanced HDR on like your new Call of Duty game, on the new Xbox Series X or the PS5, you're going to be able to take advantage of that. It looks really, really good. So you can change that stuff. Oh, the sleep timer's in here. I do like that. So all you have to do is just change it, 30-minute intervals, hit the OK button, and you can set the sleep timer for up to 3 hours. My wife loves this because I like to fall asleep with the TV on. She doesn't like the TV on whenever she's trying to sleep, so it's really convenient being able to set that, and it pops up and gives you like a minute or so to turn it off before it goes ahead and turns the TV off. So pretty cool there. Change this back. So yeah, picture settings. You can adjust the HDR. You can change the contrast, so you can change it between high, off, medium, low. You can adjust the backlight. You can see I have mine up pretty high. Brightness, contrast, sharpness, color, tint, all of these things. And usually if you go to like CNET and type in the information for the TV, there will be optimized color profiles in there, so you can set this up in different ways for like the best way it's supposed to be viewed on the TV. I haven't done that myself because I don't care that much, but it is out there. A lot of people will put their ideal color settings out there, like expert tuning and things. Very easy to adjust that stuff. And then color temperature, you can change that between normal, warm, and cool if you like that more bluish color to it, or the more natural, warm color tones. LED motion clarity. So this reduces motion blur for fast-moving content like sports and games. It's not as noticeable as true 120 Hertz, but I mean, I do turn it on when I play my games, and it does seem like it helps out a little bit. Go back into the sound settings here. Oh, sorry, not the sound settings, the picture settings. There we go. If you don't touch it for a second, it turns off the settings and goes back to what you were doing. You can reset the normal settings, and you can see here is game mode. It's already enabled, so you don't have to worry about that. A lot of things will automatically turn it on. If you feel like you have some input lag or it doesn't look like it, or just to confirm, you can go check that out. All you have to do is hit the little star or the asterisk button, whatever you want to call it, to pull up the menu. And then you can very easily check it. And then sound settings, you can do this. You can change the different sound profile mode: music, normal, speech, theater, big bass, high treble. Got lots of different options there as well. So that's pretty much it whenever it comes to the settings for the display and the sound. Very, very easy to configure and set up. It does connect to Wi-Fi easily. You don't have any problems there. We'll go ahead and go back to home. Now, you also got different streaming channels you can choose from here. It allows you to pre-install a bunch of them whenever you start, but you can always go and add more later, and if something else comes up later, then it should be there, kind of like Disney Plus. Like a year ago, before Disney Plus came out, it wasn't on any of these, but now you can go in and you can easily add it. So that's nice that it kind of builds with that. You do get software, firmware updates that you can download. Settings, network, very easy to connect. You go here to network, and then you go to set up connection. You can do wireless or wired, set it up that way. Yeah, you can set up Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. I don't have either one of those, but you can do that to where you can set it up to play your Apple Music. You can set up your payment methods, parental controls if you want to put a lock on there so your kids can't mess with stuff. And you can set up the audio for the speakers or however you want it, speakers on, speakers off, and the SPDIF and eARC. Those are on auto detect. TV inputs, you've got plenty of those. You can rename them if you want to, or you can move them. They'll show up on the front screen, and then you can adjust some of the picture stuff here. Dolby Vision, if that's supported. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's very, very easy to set things up, very easy to go through the menu, and it's just a really pleasant and overall enjoyable experience. Like I said, I've been using this for about 2 weeks now. Totally love it. The contrast is nice, the brightness is good. If you are not, let's say, a refresh hertz snob, like if you don't have to have a $2,000 TV, and I don't think most people do, you can be perfectly happy with something like this. And I bought those TVs in the past. I bought a almost $3,000 plasma TV that was 420p or 480p when it came out back in like 2004. I had a projector TV before. I've had other plasma 4K TVs. I've spent a lot of money on TVs. This one right here is $650. Totally happy with it. You don't have to have all the more expensive, crazy stuff. You don't have to have OLEDs. Like, yes, you go into Best Buy and people are going to be like, yes, you need to go ahead and buy this. This is the best. This is the brightest. Sure. Yeah, if you go to the car lot and look at a Cadillac, you're going to like it. but a lot of people don't want to spend that much on a TV or that much money on a car. So that's why we have great brands like TCL who make really solid TVs at a much lower price point. So $650 QLED technology. You've got that quantum dot built in with the LED, great contrast ratio, solid HDR10 panel, motion rate 120, game mode. It's got everything that I want in it, and I like electronics. I mean, I have a whole bunch of TVs. I would personally go out and buy this if they had not sent this to me as a review unit. I, in the past, have been more concerned about buying cheaper TVs, but the technology is just getting so good now that you still get a really, really good experience that you're going to enjoy and your wallet is going to enjoy without having to spend $1 million. And this is what you get with this TCL 65-inch 5 Series QLED TV. Really solid TV. Works great, by the numbers, no problems. And here, let me go ahead and do a sound test for you. I almost forgot to do this. We'll do the sound test just so you can get an idea of how good the sound is, and you might not be able to hear me too good in a minute. Well, so the only thing you're really going to be missing out on here is it doesn't have a really prevalent deep bass experience, and you're not going to get that with a lot of TVs anyway unless you have a sound bar, you have a subwoofer. That's really what kicks in and gives you the bass. But the volume, the clarity, the vocals, I think are really good on here, which gives you a great experience for both playing games and also for watching movies, TV, all that good stuff. You can hear the voices when it's relatively low, so you're not having to turn it up really loud and have a whole bunch of noise going on with the show just to hear people talk. And that's important to me. I want to be able to hear what people are saying, but not have it like crazy loud so everyone in the house has to hear it. So that's a sound test. I think that the sound experience on here is good. And it's good too because you can use like some streaming services and listen to music through the TV as well, or use your AirPlay. And I think that that works out nice, especially if you got an Apple product. So I've got Halo fired up right now, and I do want to go ahead and show you what the gaming looks like on here. Now, a lot of people really care about playing video games, so having a TV that's versatile enough for you to be able to play video games and also to be able to do your streaming services, your media, and all those things, I think is really important. So this is just so you can get an idea for what it sounds like, how well it works. And the TV, I mean, the volume's still up at like 30 right now, so it's not... I mean, it's got good volume. See if I can find anybody. There we go. Got him. Alright, so that's not working out so well with the pistol, but I really just wanted to take an opportunity here real quick to show you what the gaming looks like. Because, like I said, that's really important whenever it comes to TVs nowadays. You don't want to have a TV that's going to have input lag. You don't want a TV that's going to have bad colors or lighting or sound. And I think that this has a pretty good complete package, especially, you know, at the $600 ballpark. Oh, rocket launcher. Sorry. Hold on. I got to do this real quick. Ah, 3. Where are they at? Where are they at? Oh, there we go. Got him. Not a rocket? Shoot. Yeah, I'm out. We're going snipers. Where are they at? Where are they at? Ah, and they got me. So guy with the shotgun got me. But anyway, that's the gaming on the TV. And another thing I want to talk about real quick is just you have got these hot buttons on here already for Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, and Sling. If you have those services set up already, it's really easy. You just hit the button and it starts it up. You don't have to worry about sifting through different menus. You just press the button and it loads it right up. And this is just a demonstration for the load times. I mean, I'm not even looking behind me. I can see it in my camera lens there, but it works. It starts up pretty fast. I don't have any complaints about the Roku system at all whatsoever. So I think that if you want to pick this up for these things, that you're going to be, you're going to enjoy it. Let me hit Hulu here. Oh, yes. Launch. That one apparently asks you a question if you're already in another menu. So we'll switch to Hulu, and then we'll go ahead and hit the button for Sling, and you don't have to wait for it to load up. You can, while it's loading one up, you can press the button and start loading another one. So you can switch back and forth easily that way as well. I mean, very easy to use. Hit the home button, go back, you can add more stuff, and you can always access the rest of it from the menu. But I think that it's a really solid TV. I think that this is something that if you're looking for a really good TV at a really good value, then this one right here, I think if you pick it up, you're probably really going to enjoy it just like I am. One other thing I want to show off real quick is you can cast stuff from your phone. So if you use YouTube or use other apps that support it, all you have to do is find a little square box up there with the little Wi-Fi looking signal. It does have to be on the same network. So if you're not showing the icon on your phone or whatever, your tablet, if you don't see it, it's because you're not on the same network with your phone. It has to be over Wi-Fi. So make sure your phone or your tablet are on the same Wi-Fi as your TV. So go in, select your device. Right there, it says 65-inch TCL Roku TV. Ta-da! Pops up right behind me, and it will automatically start playing whatever you're watching. So you should see my video show up here in just a second. On the primary shooter, I think that that's really nice. There we go. Because a lot of people... So that's just one of the nice things you can do here. Again, it depends on whether apps support it or not, but it definitely works with YouTube and some other apps. So I think that that's pretty cool, and I wanted to show that off real quick. So that's all I've got on my review of the TCL 65S535. Like I said, and I showed off and demonstrated, I think it's a really, really good TV. I think that it's a great option for a lot of people, especially at the price range. You can pick them up. MSRP is about $629. I don't know if it's going to drop for the holiday season or anything like that, but definitely keep your eye on it. This is the 2025 series QLED TV. It's got a lot of things going for it. Solid sound, great picture, good contrast, HDR10. It's got game mode, which is essential for somebody like me who uses it for gaming. You've got all your streaming services right at the palm of your fingers and your hands. Easy to use the remote. You've got the continuity if you switch between other Roku-based TVs, and I think that TCL has done a really good job with this one. They make really good panels with really good experiences for not a ton of money. Yes, they have some cheaper models like the 4 Series. Yes, they have more expensive models like OLED TVs, so you can check those out if you want as well. But this one right here, I think, is a solid compromise with the QLED. It fits squarely between the regular LEDs and the OLEDs. It gives you a great viewing experience, good dynamic HDR, and overall, I think that it looks nice, and it works great, and it won't break the bank. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.